Hey everybody. Just continuing on here. This is Volume VIII of The History of Middle-earth by Christopher Tolkien. And this is also Part 3 of the History of the Lord of the Rings, which is called The War of the Ring. Now, this is what Tolkien intended to call the Return of the King. That's pretty well known. That Tolkien really wanted the Return of the King to be called the War of the Ring, but the publishers felt that it should be given the title of the Return of the King, which is what we know it as. But Tolkien felt that, that would kind of give away the story, and in a way it does. But he had his hands tied with it, and it was pretty much, I think it was a no-go if he wouldn't coincide with what they wanted, so he had to bite the bullet, and it was called The Return of the King. But the front cover here is done by Alan Lee, and as you can all pretty much tell that this is the Deeping Wall of Helm's Deep. You see the Uruk-hai climbing the ladders here, the elves and the green shields of let me see if I can focus on that. The green shields of the Rohirrim, their white horses, fallen soldier, and this is just a really cool artwork on the front here by Alan Lee. He did a great job with it. The War of the Ring basically continues from where the Treason of Isengard left off. A lot of this is still what you see here. What you'll see here in the War of the Ring is in the Two Towers still. We haven't really broken into the Return of the King yet, the published Return of the King. So let's take a look inside and see where it starts off at. This one has a ton of illustrations. I'll try to go over them with you guys. And this is really cool. This is, of course, Cirith Ungol. You see it up there, the tower, and the Great Gorge, and the Mountains of Shadow here. So I thought that was a really cool drawing by Tolkien he did as a little art piece there to the side. A lot of this isn't that legible, but if you want to, you can try to pause it and read it. But this is just a really cool drawing. I thought. You see shield layer down there, and all right. So let's look inside and see what we got here. Okay, so it starts off with the destruction of Isengard. The chronology, it breaks down pretty much the timelines and stuff. And yeah, you see here part 1, the fall of Saruman. Then you have Helm's Deep, the Road to Isengard, Flotsam and Jetsam, which is a great chapter. The Voice of Saruman, and the Palantir. This is basically the ending of book 1, 2, 3 of the Lord of the Rings. Whenever Isengard was overthrown, and then it breaks into book 4, which is, it's getting back to Frodo and Sam and their journey with Smeagol. And then you see here a lot of these names of the Taming of Smeagol, the Passage of the Marshes, the Black Gate is closed, of Herbs and Stewed Rabbit, Faramir. That name changed. I forget the name of that chapter, but it's not Faramir. Then you have the Forbidden Pool, the Journey to the Crossroads, and Cirith Ungol. You see the original was K-I-R, not C-I-R-I-T-H, Ungol. Then part 3, Minas Tirith. This starts pretty much part 3 with Minas Tirith. Starts off telling, getting to what we know as in the published version of the Return of the King. These part 1 and part 2 that you see here are still in the Two Towers that we know of. And so let's take a look and see what else there is. And it says Book 5, Begun and Abandoned. So Tolkien was having some trouble where he wanted Book 5 to start out with, which is Book 5, as you know, is the beginning of the Return of the King. And he had some ideas, but obviously, as you see here, he early on abandoned them, and it changed. So if you'll read through these, Minas Tirith, the Muster of Rohan, And then you had the sketches for book 5, some ideas that he had. You can see how they changed into what we know and see as the Return of the King today. And then you have the chapters Minas Tirith, the Siege of Gondor, the Ride of the Rohirrim, the story foreseen from Forest. That's a very cool chapter. Then you have the Battle of Pelennor Fields, the Pyre of Denethor, the Houses of Healing, the Last Debate, the Black Gate Opens, and the second map on page 433. Then, of course, you have your index. And also, I was going to tell you earlier, it's a good idea if you had the histories of Middle-earth to go ahead and buy also the History of Middle-earth's index. They used to have a hardcover version, but it's out of print now and they're not doing it anymore, which that sucks because I love hardcover. But they do make a paperback, and it's got all the indexes from the Histories of Middle-earth jam-packed together all in one. So let's go ahead and take a look at some of these. We have Shelob's Lair, Dunharrow, Orthanc 2, 3, and 4, and Orthanc 5. These are really cool. These are the ones I'm going to show you guys. Basically, this here that you see is basically the evolution of Orthanc. Some different drawings that Tolkien did of it. And so let's take a look at these. Page 33 and 34. So it's not too far ahead. Okay. Wow, look at this. Orthanc 2, 3, and 4. These were some different drawings of what Tolkien had in his idea. And also, I think Alan Lee did another cool drawing of one of these. It's on the paperback version of this book, The War of the Ring. Or maybe it's the Treason of Isengard. Yeah, it's the Treason of Isengard. The paperback edition has this very tower that Alan Lee looked at, and he created a new one. Well, it looks very similar, but it's on the paperback version. It looks very cool. But yeah, this is some ideas that Tolkien had for, Orthanc. Let's see this next one. Okay, this next one. Okay, you see how it's got the 4 pillars that rise up and they have very sharp pinnacles? That's what we see pretty much in The Return of the King. You can see that the front cover of the Treason of Isengard, how it got that shape and everything to it. So yeah, that's really cool. That was the original, or the 5th original Orthanc, right? So let's go back and look at some of these other ones. All right, so we have Shelob's Lair, Cirith Ungol. Let's look at Cirith Ungol. Let's see where that is. That's page 204. I think that was a pretty cool one. Okay, this right here is Shelob's Lair. This is what Tolkien envisioned as the Shelob's Lair, how it looked. And here you see the straight road that Frodo and Sam walk through in the dark, groping along the walls with that horrid stench. Okay, this is Cirith Ungol. You see the gorge here, and then you see it goes up and up, and you see the tower there at the top as well, and that's Cirith Ungol. So I thought that was really cool. So here, I'm almost out of time. Let's take a look really fast at Minas Tirith and Mindoluin. Let's see here, page 280. Okay, these are the you see the seven rings, the 7 levels of Minas Tirith. Then you have the White Mountains, Mindoluin. Tolkien loved drawing mountains in that fashion. Let's see if we can look at some other things here. Let's take a look at Dunharrow, which is on page 225, I think. No, 239, sorry. Page 239. Yes, this is a rough sketch of Dunharrow. You see the zigzagging stairs that go up and off into the mountains. A very quick sketch. That's where in the book they go up on top of the mountain and they rest with King Theoden. So that's really neat. Tolkien's first vision of that. And then we have the earliest sketch of Minas Tirith. That's the last one I'll be able to show you guys. Page 261. The White Mountains in South Gondor. That's also another map. You see the Great Ocean here. Pelegrir. Okay, cool. So this is Minas Tirith, the earliest sketch of it, and you see, the houses of the kings, and Denethor. That's where he would be, up here, and then you have the 7 levels that go up to it. But I just think this stuff is really cool, But yeah, there's a couple more illustrations. These are, the easiest ones I could show you guys that you could actually tell, from a video, that they look pretty good. But yeah, that's pretty much the War of the Ring. It's starting to break into what we know as the Return of the King, and then Sauron defeated will inevitably wrap things up for the history of the Lord of the Rings. But hope you guys enjoyed watching. Thanks, and it's almost over, guys. Only a couple of more volumes. Hope you're enjoying this as much as I am, by the way. Alright, thanks for watching, guys.